High school, a time in life full of great highs and great lows. But for Toby, no matter what happens, there will always be a group of good friends standing behind him, supporting or judging every step he takes. But to him at Durham School of the Arts, another important part is music. Toby's band class is the second period of the day. Walking into the huge band room, one can hardly spot Toby standing at the last row. He can see the entire classroom above people's heads over his music instruments. Knowing his music very well, he uses his spare time in band class to study for other subjects. When he hears his cue coming up, he will stand up and rush to his instrument, posing for the next beat. There is a brief 10-minute break between classes. It is a good time for Toby to share his new ideas with his friends. After band class, Toby has a very special chance to go to a jazz class. In contrast to the band room, students are clustered in a small space for jazz. An early morning might be tiring for Toby, but everything changes when Mr. Davis enters the room. He opens the door when his students are taking turns tossing a paper ball around. When everyone is shocked and uncertain about what will happen next, Mr. Davis throws the ball in the trash can with a perfect projectile. He fancies his flower pen to mark his music, and jazz music can be challenging. It takes imagination to figure out the best way to play. In jazz class, Toby gets to play his drum kit. In a jazz song, he's the bass of the flow and has to play through the entire song. He collaborates with his friends playing other instruments to make the music livelier. When he gets to relax, he watches other people playing and sometimes points out potential ways of improvement. To them, jazz is about a whole group of musicians communicating and improving together. Lunchtime is a blast for Toby. He packs his own lunch and sometimes thinks that his sandwich tastes like chemicals. He spends his lunchtime with almost the same group of friends every day at the same spot. This is when they can have a wild and worryless time together and talk about interesting stuff happened at school or at home. Heading back to school, Toby has more in life to figure out. When he hears that Columbia is a college fair, he rushes to the library. He jokes about the readings and tuition fees at Columbia with his friend Peter, but nevertheless is willing to fill in an opt-in form for Columbia admission office. One of the big gigs for him is the school musical. In this musical, he gets lots of instruments to play with and he needs to switch almost every musical number. Mr. Amos conducts their pit and he makes sure that everyone knows what they do and have fun during the rehearsal. He spends an hour and a half every Thursday for the rehearsal until the big day. In the black box theater, everywhere is dark. He sits at the back of the pit in a tiny space. He needs to rotate between stations for different numbers, and all he has is dim yellow light above his sheet music. He is very focused and dedicated to reach his full potential in every piece. A couple of minutes before the show starts is the perfect time for him to chit-chat with his friends in the audience section. When the lights dim and the noise fades, it is the time for him to put on the best show. If he stays at school after class, he will walk to dinner with his friends. They predict fortunes for each other even though there are few good ones. They might also have a casual discussion about whether Despacito is an authentic song people sing in Mexico. Unlike a lot of other high school students who go back home after a fun dinner, they head back to school again. At school, their friends are playing in concerts and shows. They want to support their friends even if it is very dark outside. To them, the night is still young.